Hey there folks, how you doing today? I hope all is going well for you. Welcome back to the channel. Please bear with any background racket you might hear. We're in the middle of a very heavy thunderstorm, rainstorm right now. The weather has been extreme the past couple of days in this area, and it doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime real soon. Any plans I had for getting out to the range on my day off this week, it just ain't gonna happen. This is unfiltered fans only content for the loyal viewers of this show. If you are not one of those folks, you'll probably be clicking away sometime in the very near future. And while anybody and everybody is welcome to sit through this, probably most folks have already clicked away by now. If you are still here, we're going to cover a couple of important details on what's coming up for the channel. Big news. Not right now, not tomorrow, not next week, but soon we are going to start the process of, well, I can't really say that. I've already started the process of, but we are going to be implementing some changes around here in an effort to improve things as well as to make this a sustainable project. What do I mean by making this a sustainable project? For those of you that have been watching this channel for very long, you probably know that I'm just some hillbilly in his barn shooting videos and uploading them to the internet. That's really pretty much the extent of what we've done over the past few years here on the channel. Subscriber count continues to grow. We've been monetizable for a while now, and while for many reasons that we're not going to go into here, suffice it to say that up until recently I hadn't really given much thought to monetizing the channel because due to some personal circumstances it really almost would have been more trouble than it is worth. Also, bear in mind that much of the content that we do here on this channel probably would not be monetizable anyway. And I'm speaking specifically about the YouTube channel. Most of you are probably watching this on YouTube. There are a few folks that watch it over on Rumble, and we thank them for that, but realistically YouTube has the larger following. So I said all that to say this: even in the manner at which I do things, being as low rent as you could imagine, there are certain costs. It costs money to produce a video. If I review a 9mm, let me try that in English. If I reviewed a 9mm pistol and all I did was took it to the range and put a box of shells through it, you're looking at $25 for a range fee and probably about $20 for that box of shells. That's not counting any time. I'm just talking about resources that were used to produce that. Just that in and of itself would be about a $45 or $50 expense. And then if you add a half-hour drive on each end of it and the gas associated with that, you know, you're up over $50, and that's a bare minimum what it costs to produce something that simple. You know, I did the GoTar A20 video that exactly 3 people watched last month, and you know, that was in addition to range fees, in addition to ammunition, and not counting, you know, the time it took to do it. You know, that was $100. You take it out of your pocket, you light it on fire, it's gone. So just understand and appreciate the fact that even this low buck, free to you, the viewer type content costs money to produce. So keep in mind that is one reason, but it is not the main reason we're having this talk right now. It would be great to be able to recoup the cost of producing these videos by monetizing this channel. I would really be ecstatic if I could make just enough off of monetizing the videos to cover the cost associated with producing the videos. I would be completely content with that. And it's not the main focus. While the money is certainly important, it's not the main focus here. Anyone that has been watching this channel since January knows that back in January I got thrown in YouTube jail and had a very expensive to produce, very time-consuming video that I had done on the Bull Armory SAS-2 ultralight 9mm pistol. That video was taken down by YouTube. I lost the content because I had not had the foresight to back it up in another manner. Lost the content, lost several hours worth of work, and got thrown in YouTube jail for a week and had an active channel strike on my channel for 90 days because some YouTube content moderator out there somewhere did not like that video. There was not anything in the video that deserved being taken down, but they didn't see it that way. And for those of you that have been watching that long, you know that I had to make some changes here on the channel because of that. And that really bothers me. And that, not the money, that is the reason why we're having this discussion now. You know, I said back then there were probably going to be some changes, but I didn't have anything figured out. I had not decided how things were going to be. And I've had a couple of months now, and as a matter of fact, April 18th, I think, was the day that my 90-day probation was up, and so now I no longer have an active strike on the channel. So there's that. But, you know, just knowing that at a whim, at the stroke of a key on a keyboard by some purple-haired content moderator, my channel can be taken offline. I can lose content. You know, weeks and months worth of work could be lost. If you get 3 strikes in a 90-day period, you lose your channel. They take it away. So, you know, they hold that over your head like the ruling scepter of an oppressive regime, and I understand, I get it. This is their platform. We are guests here. I would equate it to if you went to stay with somebody and they let you in saying, come in, make yourself at home, just don't go anywhere but your bedroom or the bathroom. You know, they might say you're welcome here, but you really don't feel welcome here. And that is the biggest issue. Now, since I started the Rumble channel, I can tell you that Rumble, due to all the circumstances surrounding it, it's not an efficient platform to try to operate from, at least not at this point. I hope that changes. I'm going to continue to put in the extra effort to upload content to Rumble. I hope that that will take off and become something big. But just know that when somebody Googles something, there might be a YouTube video for it and there might be a Rumble video for it. The YouTube video will come up in the Google search. The Rumble video will not. Ask me how I know that. I have specifically searched things on numerous occasions to see if the Rumble content will show up, and it doesn't. You know, Google owns YouTube, so they are biased towards promoting that content and keeping you away from the content on other platforms. I understand there are some other search engines out there, so on and so forth, but realistically, most folks are using Google, and that's okay. It's a tool, it's just not the best tool. And there are limitations to what that tool can do. So what does that mean? Well, we have our YouTube channel here. I appreciate having the YouTube channel. I'm grateful that it works for what it does work for. It does allow me to get content out to a larger audience than what I would be able to otherwise. Just understand that because we have to tiptoe through a minefield on so many different subjects and with so much of the content, it's frustrating to the content producer. It's frustrating to me. I might want to do something, might want to show you something, might want to explain something that I cannot do in that platform, or I'm not willing to do because it's going to get me shut down at the keystroke of a biased moderator. I'm not willing to put all of my eggs in one basket anymore. I guess that's the way we'll say that. So with all that being said, this is what is coming very soon. I don't talk about my work on here much. I'm not going to talk about my work much other than to say that in order to do anything outside of my work, I have to get authorization from my work, and I'm working on getting that authorization from my work for my work. Does that work? Anyway, I'm trying to figure out how to do a couple of things in the very near future. Might be a couple of months, might be the end of the year, might not happen until next year, but it will be happening, and time does have a way of getting away from us, so it's coming sooner than later. That I'm trying to set up like a media LLC for the content I produce, for the work that I do in this manner, not necessarily on this platform. So some changes that are probably let me try that in English. Some changes that will probably be coming in the very near future will be monetizing this YouTube channel, setting up a Patreon for folks that want to donate that way, which I'm not asking. Look, I know I see inflation as much as everybody else, and I know that you're paying more for gas and groceries and your light bill than you ever were in the past, and I'm not asking you guys to dig deep and give me money so that I can continue to do this. I'm not asking that at all. But for the folks that want to and are able to, we're going to set up something, probably Patreon, might be in another format, but there's going to be some access to content that otherwise would not be accessible for subscribed viewers. That is something that we will be moving towards in the near future. Also, I've got to get with Pastor Chuck. He's the guru on stuff like this. I want to set up a website for the work I do so that I can produce the content the way I want to, so that I'm not bound by the constraints of YouTube content moderators being triggered by something I said or something that happened in a video. I hate that. I really hate the fact that I have to censor good and useful content that most of you would appreciate seeing for the sake of complying with ever-changing, ever-evolving arbitrary rules by a heavy-handed moderator. I don't like it. So in the near future, but not yet, I'll let you know more about it when it does happen, but in the near future, I'm working towards trying to set up an independent way to interact and carry on with you guys, the viewers. And I think it's probably not going to be as easy as it sounds, and it doesn't sound easy. I think it's going to be a pain in the neck. I think it's something that I wish I didn't have to go this route, but I do. I feel I do. But also, I lost my thought there. Especially for the loyal folks that put up with all of my idiosyncrasies and bad acting and stumbling over words and so on and so forth. You know, it's going to be better for those of us that really appreciate and enjoy the content. And so we are working towards that. Thoughts for today. I'm going to try this. If you have listened to all this rambling, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Thoughts for today. Harbor Freight has these 50-foot rolls of Paracord for like $1.50, $2, something like that right now. You can't beat that. It's a really good price. If you don't have one of those in your bug out bag or in the glove box of your truck or whatever, it's probably not real 550 cord. It probably doesn't have quite the rebound and the shock strength of real 550 cord, but guess what? Most of you probably aren't going to be jumping out of airplanes with it. So if you need something to tie down a load or to rig up a tarp into an impromptu shelter because it's been raining for the past 3 days and you're on the road and you break down or something, you can't beat that. So go pick up a couple of those. In the meantime, I'd like to hear down below from those of you that listen to my rambling today what you think. So until next time, take care, folks. God bless.